She wouldn't arrive at destination for hours. No! What? Is that how many times I've crashed? Seriously? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I figured I lost. Welcome back to another Star Let's Play video. My name is Pinkbird, and today I am going to be beginning Rosella's training with a twist, as always. So basically, you should probably know by now, but every time I do a training video with my horses, I like to do a fun little challenge. And oh, I see some Zeds up there where Maya is. So yeah, I'm going to be training this lovely bird or horse. It's actually both. Actually, this is Rosella. Hello. Oh, hello, you big cutterbug. So yeah, you probably saw from the title of this video, but today's challenge is going to be the distracted challenge, and I'll explain it a little bit more in a bit. But first, let's do what we always do and take you over to the wash area. This is going to be your first wash, actually, Rosella. Okie dokie. Let's give you a wash and scrub you down, and let's brush you. There we go. Alright, let's put your tack on. Hello, Easter. How are you? Alright, let's mount up and let's begin our training. Okay, so today's challenge is the distracted challenge, and basically I actually got this idea off of another YouTuber. His name is Stampy Longnose. Like, basically what I'm doing with the challenge is I'm going to be reading something while racing. He did it very similar, except he was playing Minecraft and he was like reading a bunch of stuff while he was like doing PvP. He read stuff like recipes and stuff like that, but I'm going to be reading the second Star Riders book, The Legend Awakens. They released it in English at the beginning of the month, I think. I can't really remember, but I actually got it on Monday, which was actually perfect because I thought it wouldn't get here on time because the postal service was pretty bad. Took like 3 weeks to get here. So yeah, I thought I would have to read the first book, but now I get to read the second book. Also, if you guys haven't read the book yet, this might be a case of spoiler alert, because I am going to be reading it from chapter 1, but there's like 40 chapters, so I obviously won't have time to read all of the chapters. I'm guessing I'll probably get up to like chapter 6 or something. I'm not exactly sure. And you guys should get the book. It's pretty good. Pretty good. I really like it. So yeah, for our first location, we're going to be starting where we finished with Prince's training. If you don't know who Prince is, he is my Mawari. So yeah, we're going to be heading over to Starshine Ranch first. So yeah, this challenge is going to be interesting because I have a feeling I'll be failing a bunch of times because I'll be concentrating on reading the book as well as concentrating on racing as well. Right now, I've just got the book next to me, kind of propped up against, like, in between, like, kind of propped up on my desk. Just for the sake of time, if I fail 3 times in a race, I'm just gonna, like, just finish the rest of the race without reading the book and then just move on to the next race. Because I'm not looking forward to editing an hour-long video. Thank you very much. So I'm gonna do solo. Alrighty, and the challenge begins now. Okay, as soon as it says go. There was a special spot in Lisa's heart with room for just one thing. The horse Starshine. Oops, I failed there. The brave, beautiful Starshine with his soft muzzle and perfect near-floating gallop. Fearful young Lisa had such a rough life so far, and Starshine had gotten her back into the saddle again. Oops. Oh my gosh! Lol, I barely crossed the finish line. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I did actually I did like kind of do a few tests by just reading in my head, and yeah, this is gonna be hard. Okay, now that she thought about it, this spot had been filled for a long time, so much longer than she would have suspected. Ever since her childish preschool drawings of a gorgeous white horse with an unusual blue tinted mane, this is probably cheating because I'm out of canter, this place in her heart, had tempted her, beckoned her with whispers of moonlit rides. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What's wrong with me? Dizzying adventure and the kind of pure, uncomplicated love they can only feel for an animal. Alrighty, I took almost a minute with that. Alrighty, next race. This was the whisper that had brought her to Jorvik, to Starshine. Of course you can love people too, Lisa knew that. But somehow loving people was always harder. With people, there are always other considerations. So many other complex considerations. Oh my gosh! No! That's one fail. Where am I up to? Oh, no! I went on the outside! Oh my gosh, why? It's Rosella. Oh my gosh. This is hard. Oh my gosh. Conflicts, arguments, demands, everyday life. No! I shouldn't have jumped there. People wore on each other. They were either misunderstood, said the wrong thing, or said something they might not be able to take back. And I am absolutely failing at this race. Why? Okay. Eek. Loving a horse, on the other hand, was simple. That was really just unconditional love. And Lisa had learned that a person could grow and gain courage from this kind of love. Oh great, I need to turn the page. No! I need to turn the page! Oh my gosh, why? Alrighty, I'm gonna have to fix up the book a bit. But Starshine wasn't here now. He was gone, kidnapped, and it was up to her and her friends to find him. Ow. She had cried so many tears of sorrow and fear, panic and dread, that she didn't have any tears left anymore. All she had left was simply the knowledge that they needed to find him, which was how she came to find herself standing there outside of the Darkcore complex. It towered over her like some sinister giant. In the gentle wind, a wilted yellowish-brown piece of grass tumbled forlornly past. A dry red leaf blew off a tree and landed on the cover of a well. Nah! Oh my gosh. Otherwise, it was completely and utterly quiet, almost too quiet. But at the same time, it felt as if 100 pairs of eyes were staring at the back of her head. Wait, where is the check? What? I didn't even pass the checkpoint! What the heck? At the same time, it felt as if 100 pairs of eyes were staring at the back of her head as she snuck through the fence into the seemingly deserted industrial area. Alrighty. That's where I stopped for now. Yay! Level 2 already. I wanted to press C. Not X. So yeah, she's like just about halfway through level 2 already. Yeah, we're going to be going over to the Fergrove race now. Only one of the races though, the one that gives you 250 XP. Yes, turn wild, if only for a fleeting moment. Also, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, or if you guys already knew about this, but the circus race over at Nilma's Highland, there used to be a glitch. Like, you probably already saw this from my other training videos, but there was a glitch where you would do the circus race and the Jorvik wild horse would stay in their wild coat no matter where they were, but they fixed that glitch. And I don't like it. So yeah, that's a bit disappointing. I guess I was using it a lot, so yeah, they were gonna find out eventually. Alrighty, we're gonna be doing this one because this is the only one that gives 250 XP, and this one could be interesting. Alright, let me just find out where I was up to. Maybe it was more than a feeling. She had not been here for very, very long, but she had seen enough to know that people would turn up from any direction at any time. They might come off the frothy black ocean, or from any of the winding staircases and hallways, or from the copper piping that reminded her of large glistening snakes. And then a few hours ago, from the sky had come an enormous helicopter with him in it. Mr. Sands. Just his name, just the thought of him made her skin crawl. When he stepped out of the helicopter, he had stood there for a while beneath its swirling air currents with his inscrutable black eyes. Focused on something above the helicopter pad. Lisa knew there was no way, not from that far away, but from her hiding spot on the water tower, it felt like he was looking straight at her, through her. He must still be in there. She hadn't seen him come out again, hadn't seen anything at all since she came down, where am I up to? So she came down from the water tower and onto the grounds. But she knew that she had to be on her guard. She clenched the bolt cutters she had just used to pop open the fence. They weren't much of a weapon, not if the big workers in the green outfits she had seen go in the front door earlier turned up and grabbed her. Or if he did. Don't fail, please. Lisa shuddered, but the bolt cutters were something solid to hold onto, and that helped her hand stop trembling for now. She hurried across the grounds, not really sure where she was going. The big building, there was actually several buildings that flowed together. What is wrong with me? Was like multiple islands in an archipelago. It reminded her of some evil knight's fortress, only made of steel and sheet metal instead of stone. Alrighty, that was Torment. So the next race is going to be the pole-bending apocalypse race, and even though it doesn't really give Rosella 250 XP, I thought it'd still be a very interesting race to do, because yeah, like you can't bump into anything, otherwise you'll fail. So this is gonna be interesting actually. Why did I add this to this list? Alrighty, here we go. There were thick pipes that led down into the ground here and there, as if they were sucking something out of the earth. It was easy to imagine the pipes branching out below the surface, into a vast snaking underground universe. Who knew where it all ended? Lisa... See what I tell you? Oh my gosh. Alrighty, so yeah, 3 times. That's once. Lisa looked around and... Come on! Oh my gosh. Lisa looked around and spotted several strange little buildings, various sheds for storage, some kind of pavilion with paint flaking and a ramshackle cupola on top. Deserted? They appeared that way, but she could be wrong. She had to remind herself that she had been wrong before. Oh, I actually went through that. Okay. She had to remind. Okay, yeah. I crashed. I failed while I was trying to find my spot. Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna like do this. I failed 3 times. I'm gonna do this race without reading, just like I said before, for the sake of time. Lovely. There we go, level 3 already. That's pretty cool. Alrighty, I need to look at my list again. Yeah, the next race is the Valdale Lake race. Okay, let me find my spot again. For example, she had believed she would get to ride Starshine during the fall break adventure and that her father would be waiting at home. That idea took root in her again. The one that had not left her since her father had left to work the night shift and had not come home again. What did they do to him? Where is my father? Her eyes burned as tears began to well up. But she couldn't fall apart now. She couldn't let herself think too much about her father. She had to have faith that she would find him. Of course she would. But first she had to find Starshine. She needed him in order to accomplish the rest. His warmth, his strength. Oof. At the same time, there could be other possible leads here, she thought. Important pieces of the puzzle that could maybe, her heart fluttered in her chest, lead her to her father. And I need to turn the page again. Okay. She tried to shake off the grief growing inside of her and returned to... Oh! Make it, please, make it! Make it! Oh my gosh, 1 second left. She tried to shake off the grief growing inside of her and returned to scan the large industrial area. The complex stretched along the coast like a dark lava field of asphalt and concrete. Smoke rose from the tall smokestacks and sticking up out of the ground here and there. There was a string of doors lined up in front of her when she reached the first wing of the building, but only one of the doors was ajar. Finally, an easy decision. She pushed open the hallway. Sorry, I kind of looked away. She pushed open the heavy metallic green door. It slid open with a creak like long fingernails on a chalkboard. She winced at the sound and then she crept in. Darkness. She fumbled around, feeling for a light switch, running her hand over cobwebs and wires. She wondered to herself, didn't anyone ever clean this place? Apparently not. She had expected a big industrial facility would be more orderly. That's another 250 XP for Rosella. So yeah, the time I'm recording this, it's like kind of in between the update where Petunia has her show jumping. Yeah, I decided I would add that, even though it only gives you like 125. I decided I would add that because, you know, that's a good limited time brace. Alrighty, here's Petunia. She took in the stuffy, dusty air, searching her scent memories. Hay, dung, warm horsey bodies. Could she smell anything familiar? Any kind of trace of starshine? Where'd I have to go? Well, what did she have to go on, really? This is gonna be hard. Lost my spot. What did she have to go on, really? Doubt welled up in her as she stood there in the darkness. At best, coming here was a long shot. At worst, no, she didn't want to think about that option. Lisa sneezed and kept fumbling around until she found a light switch. One bare bulb hanging from the ceiling crackled and then came on. In the sickly green light, she saw that she was in a storage room. And I passed the jump. Where am I up to? There are cardboard boxes, order lists, and big moving dollies with several boxes stacked on top of each other. She crept through yet another door. This time she avoided any creaking noises and found herself in a long corridor. It was quiet aside from the distant muffled sound of machines humming. Mostly she wanted to just break into a run. She wanted to keep moving, investigate every nook and cranny of this enormous building. Alrighty. Jumping races are probably going to be harder. No, they are harder. Alrighty, what's the next one? I forgot. This one's going to be fun. This one's going to be really fun. We're going to be doing his race next. Even though this only gives us 125, I did this like with the Problem Apocalypse. I did this just for the challenge. Okie dokie, let's see how well this goes. Each door, each flight of stairs can bring her closer to Starshine. If he was here, of course. She tried to convince herself not to be too hopeful. This was only one of the places that Linda, Alex, and she had pinpointed as a potential hiding place for Dark Core. You could hide a dinosaur in that place. Ouch. That's what Alex had said about the industrial complex back when everything had just been dots on a map and not real life yet. She had laughed back then in that slightly intermittent Alex way that Lisa had grown so fond of. Lisa missed Alex's laugh. She missed her friends because they were her friends, the best friends she'd ever had. Seriously? Oh my gosh. Fair one. Alex, Linda, Anne, and then Lisa had arrived, new to their class and to the stable. Ow. She had never dared to dream before that she could have a best friend, let alone 3 best friends. She had scarcely been on the island of Yorvik for a month. Even so much had already happened. If she wrote everything down in a short story, maybe for English class, her teacher would probably accuse her of being unrealistic. Or he just might praise her imagination. There were so many unanswered questions, but Lisa didn't have time for them, not now. She forced herself to sneak farther into the building, slowly but surely. The hum was louder now that it had been in the storage room. Than it had been in the storage room. The air felt charged with electricity, as if the atmosphere itself held a charge. She heard the sound of heavy footsteps above her. Lisa stopped, holding her breath, listening anxiously. Then she heard something new that crept into the rhythm of the sounds along with the footsteps. Something familiar. Could it be? No, impossible. And again, another page turner thingy. The book fell. We're almost done, Rosella. The loud, piercing whinny echoed through the dark corridors, and Lisa no longer cared whether she was detected. Cool. Another race done. Another page read. Now we're going to do the green dye race. Oh, I just wanted a drink. You could have steered for me, Rosella. Alrighty, Molly. Let's do your race, shall we? She ran toward the hope of Starshine. Her cowboy boots echoed on the hard floor until she was no longer rushing forward. She was stuck. Something compact, baggy, and rough had hit her and stopped her legs, which wanted to keep running. It felt like her heart stopped too. She had just enough time to see the DC logo on the green cloth before she collapsed. Alrighty, there's another scene. Little transition. Is this the right way, Meteor? Linda asked. The first light of dawn was just barely visible. The trees in Pine Hill Forest arose out of the dark cloak of night, slowly greeting the day. The whole world was gradually awakening, still clinging leisurely to the cool silence of night. One lone girl on her horse rode through the chilly morning forest. The shadows that fell over her were dark blue. Not even the birds were seeing this early. It would be easy to take a wrong turn and get lost riding in the silence, Linda thought. This was the sort of silence that belonged to thick drifts of fresh snowfall, not an autumn forest. A muffled, bundled-up silence. Each time she opened her mouth to talk to a loyal horse. Where am I to? who was walking along the scrubby forest trails. She thought her voice sounded more uncertain, more childish somehow. Obviously, she knew that Meteor could not answer her, but he was the only one she was the only one she could talk to now. The only one who could make the horrible, stifling silence go away even for a moment. You know me, I have to finish the sentence off. Alrighty, the next race is going to be the challenging Greendale race, which actually gives you 250, which is good. We're close to level 4 now. Alrighty. We should have stuck together, Meteor, all 4 of us, just like Herman said. I have such an awful feeling that something is going to happen soon. Something really terrible. And I know we're the only ones who can stop it, Linda said. Linda didn't know exactly how her ability worked, yet she couldn't choose which small glimpses of the future came to her, nor could she distinguish the dream from reality. Possibly because reality was increasingly starting to seem more like a dream. I need to get across! Help me get across! Meteor stumbled over a large rock. Linda lost her balance and almost fell off, but successfully grabbed Meteor's thick white mane. She could feel the heat from his body. Her fingers grew damp from his sweat. Sorry, pal, she said. These aren't exactly like the riding trails around Gilbert Stables. Oops, my stupid alarm's going off. Everything's happening at once. I shouldn't be far now. Meteor pricked up his ears. Had he heard something that her human ears couldn't detect? Ouch, I keep crashing. Linda, too, listened attentively now. Was that a faint bird song that she heard in the distance? What is it, Meteor? She wondered and stroked a soft, shaggy neck. But of course Meteor did not answer her. Instead he broke into a trot on the trail. Stupid challenge. Why did I decide to do this? Linda noticed that the narrow forest trail had suddenly begun to open up into a big clearing, and something light. Oh great. Something. No! I need to start again. Oh, let's see. Let's see if I didn't think about these logs. No! Seriously? Oh my gosh. Okay. It was the pale shimmer of the It was the pale shimmer of the new moon, just visible in the lavender blue morning sky. The moon seemed to be suspended, poised unusually low in the sky. She felt like she could almost raise her hand and pluck it out of the sky. In the faint gleam of the fading moon, she saw the silhouettes of flapping bird wings. There was a heavy fragrance of flowers. The fresh, cool forest scent was gone. This was a completely different sort of smell that made her think of unfamiliar places and hot nights, more southerly latitudes. I keep crashing in the stupid forest. She looked at the moon and a feeling blossomed in her that was just as familiar as it was unexpected. It felt like clearing a tall jump with Meteor. Meteor whinnied unexpectedly. Linda blinked hastily. Suddenly she was overcome by the strange feeling that she was being watched. Oh no! Oh my gosh. Invisible eyes burned into her back. Okay, I need to get back up there. Pause the challenge for now. Should she turn around and stare straight into the whites of the monster's eyes? What monster? There's no monster, she reassured herself quietly without actually believing it. She did not turn around and simply urged Meteor onward. He carried them away from the forest at a gallop, away from the scornful watching eyes. With every galloping step, the feeling of being watched drifted off behind her. She let Meteor slow his pace and straightened up in saddle. She wouldn't arrive at destination for hours. No! What? Is that how many times I've crashed? Seriously? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I figured I lost. Oh my gosh, I can't let that happen. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, this is certainly new. Oh my gosh. Okay, I feel like I'm fit now. Oh. Yeah, because I'm like on the other side of the map. I kind of didn't load in. Alrighty, I'll try doing this race one more time, but if I fail again, I'm just gonna do it normally. The sun was breaking through the clouds. Morning had arrived, and with it the feeling that anything was possible. True, she missed Alex and her friends, but she did have Meteor, her bestie who understood her better than any two-legged human in the whole world. Together they are unbeatable. She thought about the secret mansion waiting to be discovered, Pine Hill. What if Starshine was there? Or at least an important clue that could help her find him. Maybe it wasn't likely, but what if? For a moment, Linda allowed herself to picture Lisa's joyful smile as she came riding in on Meteor with Starshine beside her. Her heart swelled, moved by the thought. Oh, Linda, how will I ever be able to thank you? She suddenly felt free and easy. Can I stop crashing, please? Alone with her horse on an early, crisp, clear fall morning, out on an adventure that had only just begun. My gosh, can I just get over this stinking... Yeah, I'm doing this normally now. Literally, there's like one more thing I have left to read before another transition. Whatever awaited her at Pine Hill Mansion, she was ready for it. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna read. It's gonna be Alex's point of view. I'm gonna be reading that in the next race we do.
75 years later.
Yeah, that certainly did not take 100 tries to do. Alrighty, yay, she's level 4. I love her rear. Okay, I need to get a New Hill Crest. New Hill Crest. This will be a fun race. I have a feeling I won't be able to finish this one while I'm reading it because, yeah, it doesn't actually, it doesn't give you much of a time until the next checkpoint. It gives you like 10 seconds or something. So yeah, this is gonna be very interesting. Alright, I'm glad her outfit. Oh, hello, Rose. I'm glad her outfit is fully statted. Otherwise, I'd probably have a bit more trouble. Okay, so yeah, this is. I probably won't finish this. Alex remembered the magic. She couldn't feel it now, but she remembered it. How everything flashed and sparkled. The lightning bolt that had guided her. Jessica had collapsed on the ground in front of her as Alex had held her hand out in the air. Come on, just no. Come on! Oh my gosh! I haven't even done like I haven't even done like 5 seconds of it. And I already failed. Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna count that one. She wore the necklace with the lightning bolt pendant as she rode Tin Can through the chilly deserted countryside in Winter Valley. As she headed for Cape Point, there were no more lightning flashes and no more... Same checkpoint. No pink pulsing beams of light anymore. In front of her were only empty plains and sharp rocky outcroppings that seemed to say, stay away, don't go any further. Everything here was grey or greyish brown, just like an old photograph that had lost all its colour and luster. Alex felt like the loneliest person on earth. She was completely cut off from everything and everyone. Except for Tin Can, of course. It's just you and me, guy, she said, and picked a leaf out of Tin Can's mane. Always. There's something about the solid greyness up here that made a person's courage dissipate. Away in the cold winds. The previous night's rain had left the ground wet and mucky. Mud splashed up on Tin Can's thick fetlocks. She decided that the next time she stopped, she would have to pick out his hooves carefully, brush the mud off his fetlocks, and rub ointment into his pasterns. Can I just... Thank you. She What? I crossed the checkpoint, didn't I?
Flashback.
Okay, let's do this again. She lightly touched her pendant. It was far too cold this morning. When the lightning came before, the metal grew so hot. It had left a burn mark at the base of her neck. It hardly had time to heal. Okay, I need to like start the race again. That doesn't count to fail since I deliberately clicked that. I needed to turn the page again. That's what happened. What did this mean? Was the magic gone? There was so much she didn't understand yet. Everything felt muted in the cold morning air, almost like she was riding underwater. A vicious stiffness had taken over her arms and legs, so that everything moved in slow motion. She let Tin Can trot for a while and tried to remember what exactly she was on her way to do. Save Starshine? She said tentatively. Tin Can neighed, a muted rumbling sound from deep in his throat. Save the world? She said, and sat up straight in the saddle. Tin Can neighed louder now. Glad that's all cleared up, Alex said, ruffling Tin Can's unruly mane. She let him switch gaits, speeding up from a trot to a gallop as she thought about Anne. Out of the 4 friends, Anne was the one she couldn't get out of her mind during this long ride. Why hadn't she talked to the other 3 before she left? And where had she gone? Alrighty, where? Even more importantly, where was her horse, Concord? Anne with her glossy hair and her steady eyes. Was she ready for what awaited them now? Was Alex ready herself? Heading out separately had been the wrong choice. She knew that now. They needed to be together, unified. Right now, they are weakened, spread out across the entire island. At best, epic fail. But once you had made the wrong choice, what could you do besides keep going? So she kept going because that is what a songwriter does. Alex longed for the lightning, for something that would lead her in the right direction, away from her worries and the watching eyes of the beasts of prey that lay in wait in the shadows. I wanna. Okay, that's the last time I'm failing. I'm gonna do this race normally now. The chapter's almost finished anyway. I probably won't even get to chapter 6. Okay. Rose says hello. Make sure to subscribe to Stella. Yes, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Also subscribe to Rose. There'll be a link in the description if you want to check it out. Have a nice day. Oh, Rose. Zoom. Okay, bye, Rose. Okay, the next one is... Okay, I'm going to Fort Pinta. I don't know why. Far out. I look away from the screen. Doesn't even matter what I'm reading. Doesn't even matter if I'm reading anything at all. I still crash. You know what? I might actually just like skip to the next chapter because there's not much there. It would just be annoying that like halfway through the race I'm gonna have to change. Okie dokie, let's move on to chapter 2. Anne cannot remember when the world had turned pink, became pulsating and distorted. She knew only that she was not in Yorvik anymore. Time and space had dissolved, days might have passed. Or was it actually hours? Minutes? Years? The new unreality loomed around her there in Pandora in the form of purple mushrooms. Yes, unreality really was the right word for her surroundings. The mushroom formation seemed to sort of sway... I kind of lost my spot. Sway in the air, forming a garish fireworks display of pink and purple shades. The sun shone mercilessly bright directly into her eyes. The ground swayed beneath her. She crept forward on all fours. Ouch. Towards something that in another world, her world, might have been upstream. Big sparkling pink cliffs cut a sharp silhouette against the horizon. Let me pass. They looked like giant gemstones. Maybe there was a name for pink gems like that. Anne couldn't remember. She tried to stand up and fell over. She stood up then tipped over again. Finally she managed to get to her feet, but her legs just barely held her up. Did I miss a checkpoint? Oh my gosh, I did. Glad this thing has a lot of time until the next checkpoint. What am I doing here, she thought. No matter how hard she tried to remember, she couldn't. It was as if she were inside a gigantic, brilliantly colored centrifuge. I don't even know what that word is. Spinning helplessly around and around, faster and faster. One time when Anne was little, she had ridden a roller coaster at a fair. She had gone on the ride again and again until the whole world was spinning and she threw up. There hadn't been anyone to hold her hair out of her face then. Don't fall. Don't fall. Don't fall! What'd I tell you? What'd I tell you, Rosella? I said don't fall. What do? You fall. Is that where she was now? Was she 10 years old? Did she hear the same music from the spinning carousel horses? The horses, Anne. Stay by the horses. Did she smell cotton candy? Did she need to vomit? I don't know why they have. Okay, that's a great way to end the next race. What's the next race? Mayor Peanut's fitness circuit. Just 2 more races to go, actually. To be honest, it actually didn't feel that long. The only difference with this race is I got a big fat dude on Rosella's back. That's gonna be fun. Where had her mother gone? The horses, don't forget the horses. But she forgot again. The forgetfulness was soft and cozy, and so easy to fall into. She fell again, couldn't remain upright. There was something about the ground, the air, the light, the colours. Everything was strange. It felt wrong and she didn't belong here. And yet, At the same time, she was supposed to be here, wasn't she? There was something she was supposed to do, something important, wasn't there? Please, she whispered to herself, as tears went down her cheeks. Feel something, anything at all. She felt nothing, heard nothing. Stop talking, dude! She could not smell anything. Had the smells remained on Jorvik? But things were spinning. Everything was spinning so much that she wanted to throw up, but she could not. Her body didn't seem to work the same way here. She was not built for this world. It was drawing the life out of her. Soon she would need to be able to. She would not even be able to think anymore. The thoughts that did come to her just pulled her even deeper into the bewilderment. Nothing was logical. And I need to turn a page again. Confetti, she thought. Pink cotton candy everywhere. In my ears, my mouth, my eye. My eyes, my mouth. No thank you, Mum. I don't want any more. Please, Mum, no more cotton candy. Anne felt sick as she fumbled her way along past hazy pink pools and small floating islands of barren rock. She tried jumping between the islands like when she was little and used to play Don't Touch the Floor in PE class. The air felt lighter than back home in Jorvik, as if the gravity was different. Everything was impossibly pink. She was alone here, but inside her hopelessly spinning, dizzy head, things were starting to feel tight. Her mother was there, and the light grey carousel horse. The horse is important, don't forget the horse. And now Alex was there too, or here. Alex stood in front of her now in muddy riding boots, ow, looking triumphant. Or was that not Alex? Not that... My gosh, it's Likey here. Why is it Likey? Come on. No, seriously? I'm almost done. Alrighty, let's do this again then. No, that had to be Alex. The bolt of lightning that hung around her neck flashed and made her light brown hair gleam pink. Her eyes looked completely blank when Alex looked down at Anne, where she lay huddled like a rag doll on those sharp pink rocks. Around them, the purple water was bubbling and fizzing. The shadows that had only been an inkling before grew longer and deeper. The shadows crouched down over Anne and Alex. This was a mistake. You are a mistake. Alex hissed into her ear, and Anne felt her warm breath dissolve the very last remnants of resistance in her weak body. You went off alone, Alex continued. Just as well. No one else wanted to ride with you anyway. We kind of have other things to think about right now, besides doing her hair. Girl, you need to get your priorities straight. Anne raised her head and blinked skeptically. Her eyelids feeling sticky. She heard what Alex said, saw her there in front of her. But was that really Alex? The Alex she knew would never be so mean. Oh, great.
Bye, have a great time.
Peanut, pass me! That's unheard of. The Alex she knew would never be so mean. Self-important or noisy, sure, but never mean. Who are you? Anne whispered faintly. The answer echoed dully through her throbbing head, but she did not dare believe it, did she? The anti-Alex. That's not Alex. The Alex figure faded away before her, becoming part of the pink shadows. She gratefully slipped back into the dark, sluggish unconsciousness, into a sort of trance, but somewhere deep inside the drowsiness, someone called to her. Or not called, but whinnied. Please, don't fail again. I don't want to fail again. Thank you. The horse, Anne. I did say that he was important. Concord? Alrighty, next chapter. At the top of the castle of steel pipes and winding hallways, Mr. Sands maintained one of his offices. You would think that a man in his position would have chosen the best view, but his office looked out over a sooty, dilapidated industrial area a long way from the city. The smoke from the smokestack shrouded everything in haze, giving the sky a dirty, sulphurous yellow cast. In that light, Mr. Sands looked like he was at least 100 years old. The truth was that 100 years wasn't even close. Now the sickly, gritty sheen lit up every wrinkle and furrow of his face. Every year showed like the rings of a tree. He sighed and turned away from the window and his own reflection. He nodded briefly to the figure dressed in white who had crept into the room and come over to stand beside him without a sound. Alrighty, we're so close to level 5. One more race to go. And that is Loretta's race in Moorland. So let's ride over there now. Where was I up to, actually? There we go. You're just in time, Catcher, he said, and sat down at his desk. Catcher still did not say anything. She just looked at him with her big eyes. They were so light grey that they looked almost completely white, like a corpse. Mr. Sands leaned over his massive oak desk and spoke into a speakerphone. Come on! My gosh, I'm so glad I have plenty of time. Let me just back up. It sounded staticky and words dropped out or were cut off. Generals, are you there? He barked right into the microphone. Sabine? Jessica? On the other end of the phone line, in a forest grove by her big black horse, Sabine made a face and vigorously rubbed her ear. "We're here, boss, but the question is if our eardrums are," she replied grumpily. "Doubtful," mumbled Jessica, who was riding close to the cliffs between Cape Point and Anvil Bay, seeking better reception. She sat still with her back straight and looked out at the ocean. Her face was tense and expressionless. The others' teeny, staticky voices were drowned out by the noises of the waves. Catcher smiled. Something happened to her eyes when she did that. It was clearly visible now. Her eyes were milky white, not light grey. "Generals," Mr. Sand's voice was like the crack of a whip. "I want a status report," he continued. "What's the news?" "One of them seemed to be on her way to Cape Point," Jessica said, adjusting her hairnet. "I imagine she's headed for HQ. Obviously, I'm planning to give her a warm welcome." "Excellent," Mr. Sands responded. "Try to stay on your feet this time, won't you?" Sabine interjected. Jessica could definitely hear a triumphant smile, and for a second it was like a fire flared up in Jessica's eyes before she sniffed dismissively. Alrighty. I think that's all I'm gonna be reading for this episode because level 5. So yeah, that's not the end of chapter 3, and it's obviously not the end of the whole story. It gets more interesting though, so you guys should definitely consider getting the book. So yeah, you're level 5, Rosella. You're level 5. Beautiful girl. I kind of want to go somewhere where she's in her pink form. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a like. And what Rose said earlier in the video, don't forget to subscribe if you're new to my channel. And also click the notification bell so that you won't miss out on my videos. What do you guys think of this challenge? I really enjoyed it. It was well, besides from all the crashing, I enjoyed it. It was cool because I got to play Star Stable while reading a Star Stable book. Hashtag multitasking. So yeah, like I said, be sure to get both the Star Rider books. Also, tell me in the comments what you thought of this challenge. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until our next adventure.